Programming with DP Wala. Today, we are discussing the problem from the Lead Code Weekly Contest 319. Let's discuss the fourth problem of this contest, which is the hard problem. And the name of this problem is maximum number of non-overlapping palindromic substrings. This problem is purely based on recursion and dynamic programming. In this problem, recursion is intuitive and one must be familiar with uh, dynamic programming and recursion to solve this problem. So let's discuss this problem. So here we are given a string s and a positive integer k, and in this problem we need to find a set of non-overlapping substrings from the string s, and they have given the two conditions that the substring that we are finding is of length at least k, means it must be greater than k or equivalent to k, and that string must be palindrome, and we need to find such maximum substring that are valid, or we can say present in the given string. As in this example that they have given, that here the string is given and the value of k is 3, that is given. We need to find the such substring in this entire string as that are palindrome and are of length 3 or greater than 3. So here there are two such substring that are present, which are palindrome and are greater than or equivalent to 3. So let's discuss this problem with the help of an example. So here we have taken the first example of this question, that is the string a b a c c d b b d and the k equal to 3, and how we got the output as 2. Here we have taken this string, and here I have marked all the palindromes that are possible for this string. So here we can see that the red colored part, that is ABA, is one of the possible palindrome that are present in this string S, and one of the another palindrome is CC, and the third palindrome of length 2, and the third palindrome, that is DBBD, is of length 4. As in the question they have mentioned, and they have strictly given the two conditions that as you are calculating the palindrome, so that the length of that palindromic substring must be greater than or equivalent to 3. So here we can see that as k is equivalent to 3, so the possible palindrome that are formed from this string are of length 3 and 4. So here the two strings are ABA and DBBD. So that's why we have written 2. We have ignored CC because it is of length 2. So let's discuss this, how we come to this solution and how to approach this problem and how to implement it. So here what we can do. Here, the main approach, or we can say recursion, is quite intuitive, because for calculating the substring and in the string s, we need to somehow use the concept of, we can say, divide and conquer. We can say calculate the substring from the index I to some index, and then j plus 1 to some index, or we can say end of that string. So here we need to divide our problem into the sub problems, and at last we need to merge that sub problem and come to the final solution. And as the name of the question itself suggests, that overlapping palindrome substring. So from that we come to know that, and or we can say there may be a chance in the future that we get some of the solutions repeatedly. So we need to store that solution and return that solution. So here dynamic programming plays an important role. As in my previous YouTube videos as well, I have discussed that when we apply DP, we apply dynamic programming whenever there is a chance of overlapping sub problem. So here overlapping sub problem is the case. So that's why we here apply dynamic programming, and dynamic programming is the most appropriate approach in for solving this problem. So let's discuss. So here what I have done is that, first, as they have mentioned that our k is equal to 3. So what I have done, I have taken the string of length k from the starting and taken it as our first part of our we can say string, and the second part is nothing but from the j plus 1 to the end of the string. I have done this because first I will check the range that I have chosen. In that range, the string that I have chosen is palindrome or not. So here, as I have chosen ABA, so it is palindrome. So what I can do now is that we increment our counter and we increment J as well, because now we need to check in the further part of the string as well that whether that string is palindrome or not. Since it is palindrome, so that's why I have incremented J, and we can see that here ABAC is now a new part and the remaining part is CDBBD. Now we check whether that ABAC is palindrome or not. As here is the catch that here now our string is not palindrome. So what we can do? Now here we need to do backtracking. So here we backtrack and we our J comes to this point A, and now our window becomes less and our now string becomes ABAC, and we apply we check for the second part of the string, that is for CCDBBD, as ABAC is not palindrome, and we do this till we encounter till we reaches over the end of the string. And you are thinking that how we come to know that whether the string is of length k 2 or not. So as here we can see that we have started from I to j range, which is of length 3. So our string backtracking will be done till the point that we have left earlier. So here till I to j it will backtrack, and suppose if we calculated that, and if we do not get the palindrome string, so we need to increment I. Here I have written the recursive function. It is a very small one, but you can understand it. As here we can check that if ABA is palindrome or not. As it is palindrome, so we need to increment J, as we can shorten our, we can say increase our window and check in that window whether the string is palindrome or not, and increment our counter. And we increment I if the string is not palindrome, because we do not get because there is no chances of getting palindrome in that substring. And here, as I have mentioned that if the string is palindrome, so we need to also add 1 to our answer, because it is a valid substring that is possible, because it is of length k or greater than k. So at every time we are calling the recursive function. If it is palindrome, we are calling the recursive function for the by incrementing j if it is palindrome. If it is not palindrome, we are doing backtrack, calculating it again, and then if it is not palindrome, we are incrementing our I. So in this way, this is the whole approach behind this problem. So let's discuss this with the help of the code that I have written. And in this problem, I have applied the dynamic programming 2 times. One for the calculate when we are calculating palindrome. At that time I have applied dynamic programming, and second time when we need to check whether that this is a valid palindromic substring, and we are when we are calling the recursive function, at that time I also applied dp. Because if we do not apply dp while checking the whether the string is palindrome or not, and calculated in o of n time, then our solution might uh, go out of bound, and it may be O of n cube solution. So to uh, do the optimized solution, or to write the optimized solution, we have done the dynamic programming in the calculating the palindromic substring as well. So let's discuss the solution. So here I have used two 2D vectors, PAL and CAL. They are used for performing memoization in this question. CAL and PAL are used for used in the palindromic function, where we are checking whether the string is palindrome or not. And this 1D DP vector is used for in our main part of the code. That is, it is storing our answer. So here in the main part, I have initialized them. I have filled false and false value in PAL and CAL. Initially, all the values in that grid is false. Similarly, for our DP, which is the main part, that we fill it with -1. And here I have made the recursive call. Here 0 is the index, current index. K is the value that they have given, as we need to find the substring in the range k of the length k or greater than equal to k. And here also pass the string as the parameter, so we need to perform the operation on that string. Here this is the main dp code, we can say memoization technique that I have applied here. Here this is the base condition, that whenever our index reaches to the end of the string, we simply return 0. And this is the memoization technique that I have applied, that if the that dp value is the uh, we can say the grid value that we are accessing is not equal to -1, means we have already visited that value in the past, so we simply return that value that is present in that, no need to calculate it again. And here I have made the most main thing that we have discussed via solving that example. The first part that we have discussed is that, as I have tell you that we need to first choose the first three, or we can say first k letter string in the main string, as we need to start from that only. So as in the this example, we started with ABA. Similarly here, we started with IDX plus k minus 1. Initially it is ABA, and we run till the end of our string, and we check that whether this string is palindrome or not. Here I have made the palindromic function. I will explain it in future. Here and I have checked whether the string is palindrome, and as I have discussed that if it is palindrome, then we need to make the recursive call for the next j plus 1. Means we need to increment our j which is present at this a, and we need to increment our j, and now j reaches to c, and now our I and j are pointing to this string a b a c. Here what we need to do, we need to check whether this string is palindrome or not. As here this condition fails, so we do not have any choice. So what our recursive function will do? Now our recursive function will backtrack and reaches to this ABA again. As we have calculated it again, it simply returns that value, and now our function IDX will uh, incremented, and now it will reaches to B, and now our we need to calculate for this BAC. Similarly, we do till we reaches the end of the string, and we are storing it in our DP table. And the main reason behind that, we have backtrack here when our j is reached at C, and when the string is ABAC, because there is no way to calculate palindrome further. And this, if this string is not palindrome, so why need to check it again, or we can say go further. So that's why we backtrack and calculate it for the further part of the string. So in this way we apply DP here, and here I have also applied DP for calculating, or we can say for checking whether the string is palindrome or not. As we know that there are different ways of checking whether the string is palindrome or not, and there are several ways of solving it in O of n time. But as we know that we need to do this in in this constraint only, and we do not apply 2 3 for loops. We need to apply 2 for loops at most. So what we can do here, we can apply dynamic programming to reduce our time complexity and to optimize it. So here we have applied 2 pointer, but we have optimized it by applying memoization technique. What we have done, this is our base case, that whether when our L is greater than equal to R, means we have reaches to our end, and we simply return true. And if it is already calculated, we simply returning that value. And here we have checked whether that our two values at the Lth index and the Rth index is uh, equal or not. If it is equal, we need to increment our left pointer and decrement our right pointer, and we have filled this value in our palindromic 2D vector. And if it is not true, then we can say this condition is false. Then we come to the else part, and we simply need to fill that field false in that case, because uh, means if both the characters are not equal, then this is not a palindrome, so we fill that value to false, that this condition is not correct. And at last we have written the value. This value may be true or false. If it is true, means our string is palindromic string, and if it is not, then it is not palindrome. So this is the whole implementation part of this question. Hope you understand the approach behind this problem, and you got the approach that how we can apply dynamic programming here, and how recursion is intuitive for this problem. Hope you got the approach that why we need to apply dynamic programming 2 times here. Please like this video, and please hit that bell icon and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay connected for more such daily lead code, code shapes, code forces, and daily coding problems analysis. Thank you.